And welcome back to Hoodwin. Today's Hoodwin comes to us from Mind Tool 12. Well, that's the question: who win a fight? Kurama, Nine-Tailed Fox from Naruto, versus, and I've never actually had to say this character's name out loud. I'm not a big Sonic player, so I'm I have some of the more niche characters' names. I don't know how to say them off the top of my head, but let's see. Iblis, is that it? Iblis? Iblis, the secondary antagonist of which game was it? Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Iblis is the raw power of the sun god Solaris, and an immortal energy base being of mass destruction. It was born during Solaris Park. Now, Solaris is apparently even more powerful than this guy. In fact, if it wasn't for the one weakness it had, Eggman even said they couldn't beat it. But Iblis is the raw power and strength of Solaris, fitting the appearance. Its attacks are all lava-based. Its main attack, which is available in all forms, it was releasing molten fireballs from its body at the enemy. By forming a specific hand sign, it can summon a huge meteor and launch it at its enemy. Another similar power it has is pyrokinesis, manipulating fire. With it, it could breathe large streams of fire and shoot waves of flames from one after the other, as it could, also craft hordes of fiery monsters. Its size granted extreme strength and durability, being strong enough to lift large buildings and smash stalactites the size of itself. In its third form, Iblis could even break parts of Silver and Blaze's foothold by simply slamming it with its hands. Even in its original energy form, it was able to resist Silver's psychokinesis with brute force. Iblis's power possessed shape-shifting powers and could change its form, ranging from a swirling ball of fire to a giant monstrous creature of destruction. It can use these different forms to adapt to the environment when fighting. Like its other half, Mephiles, it possesses the power of immortality and can resurrect after being defeated. But that being said, even though it was invulnerable, if it were to be reduced to its primary form, it has a third eye on its head, which could be sensitive to damage, or its green eye on its head that was sensitive to damage. It also, after being defeated, reduced it to its energy form before he could regenerate. While still indestructible, he was helpless in this state and susceptible to being sealed away. Kurama, obviously, is the nine-tailed fox, the strongest of the nine-tailed beasts that were separated from the original 10-tailed beast. Now, this makes Kurama extremely powerful in the Naruto verse, capable of having what we would perceive as infinite amounts of chakra, being able to level a landscape. Instead, even that Kurama is arguably is planetary in power. We never see a planetary. See, the reason I always am a little hesitant to say that is because we never see a planetary level feat from anyone, arguably maybe Kaguya. Or at least the implication of it. We never actually see a planetary level feat from Kurama, though it's very much implied that Kurama could at least destroy the moon and raise the planet. Raising is not necessarily destroying, but by all accounts, for everything I hear, Kurama is a planetary level threat. Okay, so let's just say it's planetary. Great. Kurama, at least from the anime we saw, can spew fire. Is massively strong. The tails can grab and catch on to things all on their own. And Kurama is obviously capable of releasing the Tail Beast Ball, which is giant exploding ball of chakra. Or Tail Beast Bomb, I should say. Giant exploding ball of chakra, which can be fired at super high velocity speeds and level, like I said, the countryside, continental easy. Like, just raise the roof. Or, not raise the roof. Raise the roof. It could raise basically the entire landscape. So, this becomes a little tricky. Because, yes, Kurama, I think raw power-wise, is stronger than Solaris from what we can tell. Stronger than Iblis from what we can tell. Solaris, though, is even stronger than all of them, because it was an embodiment of Solaris's power. Another statement to his power, Solaris is one of the few beings that can bypass the invulnerability of a super state through sheer force. That is kind of messed up. So Solaris has one key weak point that could easily be exploited. But Solaris is actually indestructible. Like, you even reducing it to its weakest form, it would still be indestructible. It would have all its energy drained, but Kurama couldn't kill Solaris. But Solaris, I keep saying Solaris, Iblis. Iblis wouldn't necessarily be able to overpower Kurama, at least not if they like go straight power ability to power ability. Molten Magma versus Tail Beast Bomb. I do believe the Tail Beast Bomb wins in that scenario. But Iblis seems to have at least a bit more of a versatile arsenal, than Kurama does. It's one of those things where, while the amount of power could definitely give Kurama issues, I don't know if it's enough to ultimately kill Kurama. As we saw, Kurama itself can only really be killed using the Bayon mode or Baryon mode, because it was literally depleting his chakra, which was his life force. It was literally using like nuclear fission, burning away his very life force. Any other like thing that can be used? I said that's a bad statement. Any other like attack used on Kurama, there is no actual evidence to suggest that Kurama would actually be killed, because no one has ever really attempted to kill a tail beast. Hell, even they say in Naruto, when they were talking about what to do with Naruto when he was escaping, and the Raikage was like, Tsunade like, you can't kill Naruto. It won't. Nine Tails will just respawn somewhere else. And it's, yeah, but not for a while. Even killing a Jinchuriki doesn't kill the tail beast. The tail beasts are just sentient masses of chakra. They respawn and reform. So to me, this is kind of a battle of attrition, because not only does Kurama seem to have a bit more of a higher attack power from what we can tell, but Kurama also has just a lot more not more endurance, but Kurama has a bit more endurance, but that goes to Iblis. Now I'm combining the two, Solaris and Iblis. That goes to Iblis, who has legitimate indestructibility and has a more varied arsenal and can shapeshift. So I imagine these two clashing. Ninetales keeping at bay, maybe doing like a point-blank attack to the face. Because it's such a large mesh of attack, it does hit the eye and weaken Iblis. Iblis, though, would counteract with his own attacks. Smothering Kurama and lava hitting him point-blank. Ultimately, as it stands, in the initial confrontation, Kurama, I think, wins the fight. Sheer power, destructive capabilities, massive amount of energy output, hitting the overall weak spot of Iblis. I think Iblis is not sealed away, but is left, left vulnerable, is left, unable to do anything for a while. Kurama leaves, and then Iblis comes back, and the fight then continues. In the initial confrontation, though, it would, I think, go to Kurama, but I will say that Iblis could win the battle of attrition simply by coming back after a while. The problem is that depending how long it takes for Iblis to, gain its energy back and being able to continue the assault on Kurama, it's one of those things where Kurama could easily just be, finally recharged back to where he was at the beginning of the fight, which means it would just constantly keep going the same, where Iblis keeps coming back and Kurama keeps beating him down. Kurama, for all intent and purposes, as far as we know, is functionally immortal, unless Kurama does something to actually lower its own lifespan. So, yeah, it is one of those things where, technically speaking, Iblis is not going to be killed in this fight, and Kurama doesn't have any method of sealing it. Now, if it were Shukaku versus Iblis, this would actually be a lot more interesting fight. Shukaku actually has the ability to seal individuals, and Shukaku's made of sand, so that would be a lot more interesting fight, really. So, but yeah, Kurama, I think, is just ultimately overpowers Iblis in this scenario. But that said, that is just my opinion. Let me know if you feel the same, and if you do, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. We're all friends here. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Have a good one.